In this section, we are going to give a demonstration of transactions in Farm Market Direct, which is the point of sale system for the WIC Farmers Market Nutrition Benefit, or WIC FMNP. This is actually a portal, so it's accessible on a computer, whether it's a laptop, it's accessible on a tablet, it's accessible on a phone, anything that has internet connection, you would be able to access this portal. We do on the Fresh Farm Leased iPads add a shortcut, so it actually appears as if it's an app for you. And anybody that is interested in that but has their own device, let us know. We're more than happy to help you set that up so it functions more as an for your team when they're at market. So with that, I am going to switch over to the portal. You can see here we've got those veggies on the left side of the screen, and we've got all of our account information, our credentials saved here. You will have the same if you have a Fresh Farm iPad. You will have the login credentials already saved. If not, we will provide the login credentials for you and you can save them to your device. So let's go ahead and log in here. And it's automatically going to send us to the purchase page. I do want to point out a couple of things though. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll see your farm name or the farm name where we see test account. This is your menu. So this is where you can go to transaction and settlement history, which are discussed in another section, and we'll talk a little bit about here in a minute. You can go to balance inquiry, which we'll talk about in this video as well. One thing that I want to point out is you can also change the language of the portal. So you can update it to Spanish, and then the portal will be all in Spanish for you or your team. So we're going to switch it back to English for now, but that is a feature that you can do. And now we're just going to run through a couple demonstrations. So if a participant is ready to check out and they bring up that QR code, first thing we're going to do is scan it like we just did there. And then we want to make sure to select the correct location. So in this case, we'll select test market. This will allow you and your team to track where transactions are actually happening so that you know where you're seeing FMNP sales. Let's go ahead and put in the price and then submit purchase. Confirm the total amount of the purchase with the participant. Once you have hit confirm purchase, and then you can see at the top of the screen, it shows you the purchase has succeeded and it shows you how much is left in the participant's balance. So let's do that one more time here. Happens pretty quickly. So we're going to scan that QR code. Again, we want to select the correct location. We want to put in the purchase amount, submit, confirm that purchase. And then again, it will show us the purchase succeeded and the balance remaining. Let's hear for a minute. If, for example, let's give another example here. If a participant is unable to provide their QR code, or for some reason there's a glare and it's just not scanning, we can also manually enter the card number. So they would need to give you that 16-digit card number. You can type it in. We hit continue, and then it's going to send us to the same screen we were just on. Select that location, and then we're going to put in the amount of the purchase, submit, confirm that purchase. And then again, it's going to show us that the purchase succeeded and the total balance here. If you have submit that purchase and the participant says, oh, actually, never mind, I don't want those apples, you can actually void out a transaction. So if we go to the menu and the transaction history page, we can see all of the purchases that have happened. We can filter by the dates. We can also filter by location. And then we can see, let's say this last one is the one that we want to void. We can hit that void on the far right column and then confirm the void. Once that has been confirmed, it's going to show transaction voided, and usually it pops up here at the top too. If it doesn't, you can go ahead and refresh the screen, and then you should see that automatically that amount's going to go back to the participant's card or QR code, and it'll be taken out of your total amount for the day. So let's just do one more so you can see right now it's $66.20. Let's go ahead and void this one, confirm the void. it'll say transaction voided. Again, sometimes it doesn't always show you right away, but you can refresh it and then you can see that the total amount has been reduced. Your total reimbursement has been reduced. It's gone back to the participant's card. One other thing that I want to show you that you may need at market. If we go back to the menu and go to the balance inquiry page, this page works very similarly to the purchase page. The difference here though is that it's not going to ask for a dollar amount of the purchase. So we can go ahead, scan that QR code, we can put in the market location, submit inquiry, and it's going to tell us what the total balance is on the account. So that's one way to do a balance check. The other way to do a balance check is if we go to the new purchase screen, either through the menu or through clicking new purchase here, we can actually go ahead and scan the QR code and we can put in a really high dollar amount like $900, submit the purchase, confirm the purchase, and it's going to tell us here at the bottom what the participant's maximum balance is. So if you're more comfortable with just staying in the purchase page and you don't want to go back and forth to the balance inquiry and purchase page, you can check the balances here. Just make sure you're putting in a high dollar amount so that it's not actually pulling from the participant's balance. Now that we've walked through that demonstration, let's go back and finish up the knowledge check questions for this section. Question 13, what program or programs use or uses the Farmers Register to process transactions? Is it Produce Plus, Senior FM&P, and or WIC FM&P? And question 14, what program or programs use or uses Farm Market Direct to process transactions? Is it Produce Plus, Senior FM&P, and or WIC FM&P?